to have an interview. G1, our lovely interviewer girl.
Yeah, and if there's going to be a translation today, it's probably going to be translated by Mark, so you can translate it into German for me. That would be actually
MVP와 oGs-TL의 두 분 감독님을 만나서 얘기 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. MVP 최은상 감독님, 안녕하세요.
네, 안녕하세요.
네, oGs-TL의 박상익 감독님, 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
네, 감독님 오늘 1세트 승리하셨습니다. 축하드리고요.
감사합니다.
네, 2세트 김경덕 선수가 나왔는데요. 만만치 않은 선수지만
Congratulations.
최한식 선수가 한번 이긴 적이 있잖아요. 2연승까지 가능할까요?
네, 아무래도 지난 경기
Do you
때
think that the STC will be able to beat Finale, who was the
잘해줬을
second
때
choice?
제가 속으로 이상한 선수가 오늘 사고를 칠 것 같다는 느낌 좀 들었었거든요. 근데 그 느낌이 오늘은 최현식 선수한테 가고 있는데 그게 잘 맞아 떨어졌으면 좋겠어요.
네, 2세트 굉장히 기대가 되는데요. 또 감독님 오늘 1세트 아쉽게 패배하셨지만
He has a feeling that Finale is not going to do that well today, and that the STC will be able to place the second
좋은
win.
팀으로 MVP 팀이 꼽히고 있는데 거기에 대해서 어떻게 생각하시는지 궁금합니다.
Coach Choi has to say.
수호랑 민수가
MVP has been on a roll recently,
팬분들이 그렇게 생각해
and they had two players in the GSL finals.
졌지만 저희 팀이 원래
Just last weekend.
승률이 더 높은 팀이기 때문에 별로 걱정은 안 됩니다.
Yeah, so he seems to be
그렇군요.
pretty
과연
confident about it.
2세트도 어떻게 펼쳐질지 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 또 감독님,
He doesn't have any worries about his team performing today,
모두
so
우승을 경험하셨습니다.
they're going
그런
to
팀은
play
3 팀밖에 안
against
되는데 IM이나 슬레이어스 팀에게 혹시 경쟁 의식 같은 걸 좀 느끼시나요?
당연히 있죠. 그리고 저희가 아직은 그 두 팀에
Okay,
비해서
they won the GSL and the GSTL, and so far there's only 3 teams that
이런
have
경쟁 의식이 또 팀을
managed to
발전시키는
do that
힘이겠죠.
in the past.
감독님, 지난 슬레이어스와의
So,
경기가
she's just asking if there's a
인상적이었죠.
rivalry
어려운 팀을
between
상대로
the other teams.
이기셨는데 오늘 또 김영진 선수랑 최정민 선수가 없단 말이죠.
Yeah, so he just mentioned that he is going to work very hard so that he can be as good as the team as I am in Slayers.
네, 지금까지 보여주신 만큼 또 좋은 모습 보여주시리라 믿고요. 감독님들도 아시다시피 이번 결승은 팀리그 최초로 미국 라스베거스에서 치러집니다. 선수들이 굉장히 들떴을 것 같아요. 반응이 어떤가요?
저희 선수들은
The finals are going to be in Las Vegas, as you already know. What do you think about this?
Yeah, I heard about that. I actually think it's great.
가자
Yeah.
그랬는데
Of course, I'm sure that's exactly what you
그냥
say.
이러면서 별 반응 없는 거 같아요.
That's what I say.
아직 좀 못 믿는 눈치신 것 같은데 미국 라스베가스 갈 수 있을지
Gonna be a lot of
지켜보겠습니다.
fun.
감독님,
예.
감독님 팀은 MVP 팀은 어떤 분위기인가요?
프로게이머로서 그렇게 멋진 무대에서 결승전에 칠 수 있다라는 그 하나만으로도 굉장한 또 추억이 될 것 같아요. 선수들 모두
So Coach Choi think that it's really great
잘하는 것 같아요.
그렇군요.
to go to the
감독님들도
to have the
라스베가스가
GSTL
가고
finals in
싶으신 것
Las Vegas,
같은데요.
which is
오늘
the
우승해서 4강에
state
가야
dreams,
또
so
라스베가스 그 꿈의 무대에 설 수 있겠죠.
looking very
오늘
forward,
마지막으로 각오
looking
한마디씩
forward to it, and
부탁드리겠습니다.
is trying to reach the finals so that they can go there.
선수들 오늘 준비 많이 한 만큼 꼭 이겼으면 좋겠고요. 징크스라는 거는 깨라고 존재하는 법이니까 오늘 꼭 깨서 저희가 결승 가도록 하겠습니다. 4강 진출하고 결승까지 가도록 하겠습니다.
Our players are the best to win
한마디
today,
해주시죠.
예, 역전을 잘하는
and they
저희
really
팀
want to
색깔에
advance, of
맞게
course, to the semifinals.
보여드리도록 하겠습니다.
네, 만만치 않군요. 여러분 끝까지 응원해 주시고요. 저는
Yeah, and
지금까지
MVP is
4강
basically
플레이오프를
saying
향해
exactly
싸우는
the same, so
MVP와
they are
oGs-TL을
trying to win today.
만나봤습니다. 여러분
Surprise,
경기
surprise.
끝까지 지켜봐 주세요. 저는 잠시 후
No
승리
surprises
인터뷰로
there, man.
찾아오겠습니다. 박상희
Yeah, but let's talk about those finals. I mean, Las Vegas, it's going to be really great, and
Yeah.
I'm
We will
really
be
looking
there.
forward to it. Yes, the two of us will be there, and it's going to be awesome. It will be the first time for me in the US, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never been there.
Well, there'll be a lot to see.
Yep, been all over the world, but never to America.
Well, that's really interesting. I didn't expect that.
I always thought that I will end up there eventually.
Well,
So-
you will, man.
Yeah, so when I had the choice of going, for example, to Australia, I choose Australia and then Korea. So, and yeah, finally.
Well, it'll be fun. It's gonna be a fun trip,
Definitely will
man.
be a lot of fun.
A lot of teams. I mean, a lot of players obviously going to come. To the teams that win are going to be on the plane.
The really funny thing is, I wrote about it on Facebook that I'm going to Las Vegas for the GSTL finals.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine asked me from Germany, he was like, I haven't seen him in 2 years. And he was like, when exactly are you going to be there? In the week of the 10th, I'll be there with a couple of friends in Las Vegas. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So, and then another friend of mine, I met her in Australia. She will be there in exactly the same week as well. It's like crazy.
That's
One
crazy,
time
man.
I go to Las Vegas and there are two of my friends, one of them from Scotland and the other one from Germany. I'm like, what is happening? It was so funny.
Well, that is. I mean, it's a small world, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to see how well Finale can do here against the STC. The OGS coach, The Wind, obviously seemed very confident that the SEC would take him down, despite the fact that our map is going to be Calm Before the Storm, a very good map for Protoss. Finale using that map immediately to take out the STC. Very quick choice to use this map.
The funny thing is that Calm Before the Storm was known to be a map that dragged on for ages before we had the first engagement. But just lately, the last games that we've seen of this map usually evolved around one of the players just trying to abuse the fact that most players would go for a long macro game. This bunker rush comes to mind with a Neophim Steel upgrade. And so we had a lot of cool games lately. And let's see what those two are up to this time. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, on Calm Before the Storm, MVP against OGS. To the top right of the map, we have our second MVP player for the day, another Protoss.
MVP Finale!
MVP Finale in the red. His ally, his teammate, was already defeated. The first victim of the player at the bottom right, the Terran player starting for OGS, the captain. It is
oGs-TL, the STC!
Strong macro player himself. Now I wonder what build order STC will do. It's very likely, in fact it would almost be absurd to not see Finale go for a Nexus first on this map. Will the STC, he's got a forward SCV, Caldor. I think we're going to see, well, yes. There it is.
That's exactly what I was talking about just a second ago. A lot of players lately have been trying to just take an advantage by putting on a lot of pressure early on in the game, but look at MVP Finale. He is not going for the Nexus first, he is going for the gate, and he's headed into the middle of the map with one of his probes, and he will detect the barracks. Yes, he does. And immediately we have his opponent, we have the STC cancelling one of them. Perfect opening for Finale right now.
Yeah, he actually has not gone Nexus first at all. I mean, he's got his gas finishing up right now. So things going really well for him as far as build orders are concerned. We'll see what the STC wants to do as a follow-up to this now. Nice probe micro by Finale. Not losing any hit points on his probe. Continuing to harass both SCVs in the middle of the map. And unfortunately for our Terran player, he still doesn't even know his opponent's spawning location. He's about to find out that this pressure is not going to work in the base. He's like, oh no, you didn't go Nexus first, so no matter what, I'm not going to be able to pressure you at all with this.
Yeah, this is definitely not going as the STC planned, so he has to be very, very careful. And yeah, we just had the pre-match interview, and the OGS coach, he was pretty confident that Finale was not in the best shape right now, but so far it doesn't look too well for his player.
No, it does not. It's very clear that they expected a possibility that the STC would have to play against a Protoss on this map, and I think he prepared this builder specifically for that. A little bit of hesitation by Finale on his unit production. He started a second Zealot, then canceled it, then started it again, and then started a Stalker. I think he was trying to control the scenario. He was like, well, these Marines are going to be very vulnerable early on. Perhaps I should make a second Zealot. Then he was like, no, I want the Stalker instead. So a little bit of hesitation there. He's obviously going to make his Nexus very soon. He may even pull probes out of gas temporarily as he controls the center. The barracks has been lifted. A lot of lost production time for the STC. He's going to have to make a bunker now. He is, however, making a command center. So even though in most cases this type of situation would put him very behind, he can still safely expand behind his bunker, behind his opponent's line of sight. You won't even be able to get back there to pressure that at all.
Where exactly is he flying with his barracks?
That is a good question.
I mean, he's headed to the bottom left of the map while this... Okay, finally he realized, well, I'm not starting bottom left, I'm actually starting bottom right. So... flying a little bit of some zigzags right here, and adding a second command center right away, so he's going for triple base, and at the bunker will definitely make sure that those few units poking for Finale now are not doing any damage at all.
Yeah, nice control. Robo going down after Nexus. Since he sees the bunker, he feels very confident to just drop the Robo. Now this does allow him an opportunity to do a sentry drop if he wants to. I think we may see that. Obviously sentry drops are quite popular on this map. You can drop the sentries into the back, warp in Zealots, and just keep force fielding the ramp and kill the command, so there's nowhere for SCVs to run or hide.
That would be actually really, really strong right now, especially with the STC taking some risks in double expanding. And he knows that he's already well, that he is behind in the game, so he needs to take some kind of risk, and this might actually be exactly what he needs to come back into this match. If Finale is giving him the opportunity to do so.
He spots actually the command center. Now it's not the third command center he's seen, but with that timing, he should know that's a third command center.
There is no reason to build a command center in this position if it's not the third.
Absolutely correct.
As a Zerg player, you usually try to take the base outside first, and then you have like a free expansion in the back, but as Protoss and Terran, there is just no way you would take the outside base first, so
there's
Finale
no
knows.
Very quick robotic support bay here. Looks like he wants to hit a 2-base Colossus timing rather than taking a third. That's very interesting. I really expected we would see a Warp Prism for this map, but it's just perhaps so predictable now that that's the reason why he's not doing it. One backdoor gas has been taken by the STC, and that's going to put him at 3 geysers, so he's going to be able to start taking up fairly soon. He started +1 very early because he knows on a map like this he's going to become far behind in upgrades very soon.
2 additional barracks, and I have to say, if Finale is actually going for a timing attack with the first Colossus that he has, he will be able to do a ton of damage because there just won't be any Medivacs. We don't even have a factory.
Yeah, it's really
sorry,
weird.
not only Medivacs, I was talking about the Vikings, rather.
It's really weird that he chooses to add these barracks before. Okay, now adding the factory. He has so much gas, he could have been doing both at the same time, beginning the factory first. I think would have been the smarter choice. Either way, the Observer is going to see all of these timings, so that's very, very handy. First pylon going up, and 3 additional warp gates. First Colossus is on the way. It looks like he wants to hit with the first one for sure, with 6 gateways following this up. This is a very unique timing attack.
There's extended thermal lance just started now, and still no second base. He wants to go for this 2-base timing attack, and this might do a ton of damage, especially with... There are no Marauders, there are only Marines. Marines is the only thing that he has, and there are 2 things in the army of a Protoss player that can perfectly counter Marines. It's Storm and it's Colossi. So if he plays this well, he should be able to do a ton of damage to his opponent.
Yeah, there is an armory going up now, and the starport is going up. So the second engineering bay is going to start +2 weapons and +1 armor about at the same time, but this is so scary. Some of these units are going to take some serious hits as well, Caldor.
2 of the Marines go down immediately, and he's attacking right away. Beautiful force fields by Finale, taking down one of the bunkers before any... Well, he's trying to get additional bunkers into the picture. One of them actually able to finish, and that forces MVP Finale back once again.
I feel like this was a little bit premature. He could have waited a little bit longer and hit with the first Colossus. I like this idea of trying to trap some units, but he's committed rather than trapping some units. And this not only allowed him to take out some of the sentries, but he also is now able to prepare with additional bunkers. Range is almost done here. Oh, those Marines eating a lot of fire.
That Colossi is doing tons of damage. Extended thermal lance is done.
Oh, he misses the bunker. And then he will lose some zealots for it.
And now we have the first Marauders being built. He needs something for this army. And Marines just won't cut it any longer. Look at those Colossi doing tons of damage. The second one is already on its way. And the SCVs and also the Marines being attacked. He needs to be careful though. The one Immortal in the back doing a ton of damage. But once again, he's not able to focus down the bunker.
He's not targeting correctly. He's not targeting the SCVs or the Marines here. Okay, now he's starting to do a little bit more target work. He's got to be very careful. He's allowing Zealots to take fire for no reason. He needs to be only microing the Colossus and not, right-clicking his entire army.
The STC holds very well, but now there's the second Colossi, and this is a completely different battle right now.
Yeah, it is.
The second Colossus, so much damage output. The first bunker's already gone. The second one dying as well, and those Colossi burn everything to ashes.
Yeah, I think this might be the beginning of the end. The Vikings, though, do emerge. He needs to save the Stalkers. He's targeting the bunker. This is a terrible choice, and now there's nothing left to protect the Colossi, and the Vikings come out, and the STC will hold.
Yes, he will. The Marines are already on the move, trying to take on not only those 2 Stalkers, but the Immortal as well.
The Immortal,
no shields anymore.
The Immortal goes down to SCV as 1 Colossus falls.
And he's retreating for now. He knows fully well that if he waits a little bit longer, he can get additional
the Zealots.
The Zealots try to get in to do additional damage, but they have to be very careful.
There's a drop in the main, and the Zealots do kind of flank here, taking out a lot of Terran units. But he has to wait a little bit longer. Look at the supply. It's 91 to 56 now. And the worker count 34 to 48, of course, in the STC's favor.
And 3 mules at that. This is going to be horrible. He kind of missed his timing to take down his opponent's defense. As you mentioned, he waited too long. His timings were not perfect, his unit targeting as well. And therefore, he allowed the STC to get those Vikings into the picture. And suddenly, there were no Stalkers left. He couldn't take down the Vikings, the Colossi under pressure, and they crumbled. So MVP finale, he was so close with winning this game, but now it looks really, really bad.
Well, it looks like he's already signed his surrender treaty, man. He's actually going home and making a Twilight Council. His opponent is on 3 bases to his 2 and has a larger army size, and he knows it. I don't know what's going to bring him back into this game, as +2 is about to finish for the STC as well. There are no upgrades whatsoever, not even forge infrastructure in place for finale.
We mentioned it, the first attack, it was a little bit weird, it was a bit too early. The first Colossi was not... there the drop goes down, not only killing the 2 Marines, but the Medivac as well. And yeah, with the first attack, the main problem that he had, there were no Colossi, so he just attacked, and he showed his hand. He showed, okay, listen, I'm going for a very aggressive build here right now, and I will allow you to get those bunkers into place.
Yeah, it was really weird by him, and then he committed too much with the attack. If he had just pressured, killed some Marines, then backed up, that might have been an okay trade with the timing of the Colossus arriving, but he totally botched it. Then he mismicroed quite substantially as well.
I like the idea, and I think it would have worked if he would have waited a bit longer for his first Colossi.
It was just poor execution, I feel.
The SEC, on the other hand, did this very, very well. Very nice defense. He threw down bunkers immediately upon realizing what was happening, tried to go for the Vikings, and he was able to get everything out in time. And look at those Vikings. They will try to land.
There are a
the
total of 8 Vikings here.
With the drop as well, this is going to hurt. Actually, he's not doing anything. He's not really, he doesn't want to risk. But I think if he would drop both Medivacs and landed the Vikings, he would have taken down everything though.
The Vikings have landed. They may actually engage on ground here. Okay, now they're going to lift. That makes a lot more sense. This Colossus is going to fall so quickly.
Oh, yes.
Ship weapons about to finish as well. 5 Marines at a time as +3 is starting. Here we go. Here's the battle. Some decent force builds. The Vikings coming in for a flank. The Archon's not able to fight. They're not even going to go for Vikings. It's not useful. And he does actually trap a lot of units with good force fields. Wow, he actually held a lot better than I thought he would there, but there's a huge drop of these Vikings going on in the backdoor expansion.
And here we go, assault mode for the Vikings. I don't really like it though. We have a Colossal Immortal in the back doing a ton of damage, and those Zealots sure did some damage as well. So the STC is looking pretty strong here, but still the hold by finale was not too shabby.
Yeah, not shabby at all. You know, especially being as down on upgrades as he is, it was 1-1.
He is so far behind. 2-1 against 0-0.
Yeah, it's about to be 2-2 at this point. +3 is a third of the way done as well. I like this choice to make a hidden expansion at the top left. That's something he's going to need. Now, the next step I feel in this game for him should be to get Storm Research. He's going to defend this drop back here. If he gets Storm Research, he has a Temple Archives. If he can get Storm out and buy more time, he might be able to get that hidden expansion, but he's going to lose his forges.
Oh my god, this is horrible for finale and beautiful for the STC. He will make sure that his opponent doesn't get any upgrades whatsoever. The Terran player already on 2-2 getting +3 attack. He will be so far ahead in upgrades.
Keldo, we're going to watch him kill the forges twice, I think. Oh, no, not quite.
He doesn't even have to just think about how much those upgrades are delayed right now, but how much it is insane. If OGS, the SCC, attacks with a +3 attack upgrade, he will be on 3-2 against 0-0.
Yeah, things looking impossible at this point for finale.
That's the +3 armor upgrade as well being researched now. 194 supply against 120. Beautiful play by
man, his probe transfer might even be spotted here, Caldor. No, just barely not. There you can see his 1-1 being started out, as well as his Storm. He's not going to have Storm in time. Something that he could have potentially used to hold this pressure off. He's absolutely not going to have it. His opponent can literally split his army into 3 parts and still win. EMP is going off on the Archons as well. 3-3 against 0-0, as you mentioned. Even the Vikings landing with their upgrades better than the Protoss upgrades. And I think this game is over.
Yeah, it is.
GG.
Like a hot butter through knife, he's taking down everything. And there's the GG.
Oh my god!
He's going crazy, look at him. Finale is completely stunned and the STC is just on a roll now. 2-0.
Great
well
to win
played.
on Calm Before the Storm as well. Get that map out of the way.
And well, we talked a little bit about the potential players for MVP, and we mentioned that we might see a Zerg player. The thing is that the best matchup that STC has is the matchup against Zerg. He has a 63% win ratio, but still at this point, I think there's just no other option left. Yes, well, we can go for a tournament player as well.
Well, see, here's the thing. If you go for Zerg, the Zerg players of MVP are so well-rounded that even though his best matchup is against Zerg right now, it's only slightly better. And if you send him to Zerg, like Monster, for example, he's fairly well-rounded. He might be able to take some more wins if he beats the STC. You don't want to send out a sniper against the STC when you're already down 2 games, because then he just beats your sniper, and then what are you going to do after that? So, speaking of snipers, I suppose we could see MVP sniper. I don't think that's who we'll see, though. I don't know. It's hard to say exactly who they'll choose. I don't think they'll pull out Tails, especially after watching that dismantling of a Protoss against all odds. To be honest, though, I feel Finale should have won that game. If he had better executed his attack, I mean, he almost won it anyway. If he had just executed his attack a little bit better, he would have won that game, I really feel.
Yeah, I think so too. But as it is, we have OGS ahead with 2-0 against MVP. So
it's the beginning of an upset, man. I don't think most people expected OGS to beat MVP here or even take more than 1 win. Who's going to be next for MVP? We'll find out in just a moment. It's going to be SC. Oh, that's not SC. That's Monster. I'm sorry.
So we have the Zerg player, and it's going to be on Daybreak.
STC, man. Look at him.
Okay, whatever he had for breakfast today, I want it. That guy is just
the STC, man. He's the real monster. All right, here's Monster though. Doesn't actually look anything like SC. I don't know why I thought that was SC for a brief second there. 2 and 3 win rate in Team League. Not the best, but you know, that's only 5 games played. And you can see here, if he comes out second, his win rate is 50-50. Problem for him though is coming out third. I guess that's not too good for him.
I'm really curious to see what is. For some reason, I want the SCC to win another game, because every time we won, it was just so funny to see him jump around like crazy.
I feel like even if he loses, if one of his teammates wins, he'll just go out and make faces anyways, man. I feel like that's what would happen. So the map choice here is actually going to be Daybreak. So Zerg picking Daybreak, pretty smart choice, I feel. It's a very balanced map, if not the most balanced map in the pool. So talking a little bit strategy here as he prepares. I'm sure he prepared for this eventuality as well, especially with how the Wind has talked about his play today.
Now let's face it, if Monster is going to lose the game against the SCC, it's going to be a very, very tough battle for MVP, because they will be down 3-0 and they have to get a win now. They really have to make this happen. But the SCC, I mean, look at this guy. This guy is on a roll now.
Yeah,
he is so pumped.
I don't blame him, man, for how he looked so solid in that last game. We'll see if Monster's map pick Daybreak really comes into his favor here. Can he play a long macro game against the STC? Someone who's been known to play long and unbeatable, grueling macro games. We'll find out here in just a moment at the GSTL with Caldor and Wolf.